What's cracking, traders? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content. And in today's video, we're taking a look at a fun team in the Summer Cup with some Pokemon that have been buffed recently. Bear's been enjoying it a lot. They wanted to send it in and share it with y'all. Dartrix got the recent buff with Peck and Seed Bomb both, and Brave Bird hits things very hard when it's not resisted in the back. Yes, I didn't even know this thing had Rock Tomb, dude. But Rufflet is our safe switch, apparently. With that Rock Tomb, able to put a lot of pressure on things with the buffed Peck. And in the lead, we're going to have a Gastrodon looking to lock down most of the things that Flyers really don't enjoy. And if you'd like to send some games to the channel for shoutcasting of your own trainers, just like Bear did, there is a Google form in the pinned comment and description that you can fill out. Let's get into the games. First game, we're going to have Gastrodon in the lead versus FeRetris. If it has Volt Switch, this is a great matchup, but if it has Bug Bite, look out. The opponent is on Bug Bite FeRetris. Makes sense with the amount of Credilli in this cup, to be honest. Going to be looking to go for a Water Pulse right away here before the opponent can get this Rock Tomb off. Gastrodon wins a lot of CMPs that I didn't expect it to, and this is definitely one of them. FeRetris is very bulky as well, though, on its own right. Opponent's going to go for the Sand Tomb here, looking to try and lower the defense instead of the attack with this Sand Tomb. Opponent's going to be looking to go for the, maybe a little bit more energy than I expected. Gastrodon going to look to go for a Body Slam here to cut the FeRetris off of its energy, and the opponent lets it go, but they do decide to come in with their own Gastrodon. And trainer, I have a bad news for you. We have two Flyers in the back. Your Gastrodon is about to have a very bad time, except, however, there's an Empoleon in this team, and now we're about to have a bad time. Oh, how the tables have turned, trainers. And Gastrodon is like the least of our concerns at this point. Now there's a Shadow Empoleon staring us down, which could do seriously heavy damage to literally anything on this team at this point. With Drill Peck hitting Dartrix for super effective, and Rufflet really not appreciating the amount of pressure a Hydro Cannon is going to do, and we're about to find out how much it does. Rufflet's going to look to come in and just try to absorb this energy. Hydro Cannon doing quite a bit here, but it can get to a move, but the opponent able to swamp into their Gastrodon, and Rufflet going to be looking to go for the fly here, trying to apply some damage, maybe letting Dartrix be able to get a farm down. Wait, the Rufflet itself might be the thing that farms down. No, Rufflet's going to go ahead and let this go. We're going to leave everything in the capable hands of Dartrix as it comes in, has a shield, but needs two moves here, knows that it does not need to shield this move. We are always saving our shield for the opponent's Empoleon. They're going to be looking to get the farm down here. Very nice. Ahead on energy just a bit. A Seed Bomb should be more than enough from this range. Looking to get up to two Seed Bombs and throw them. Yes, the opponent was not at two moves themselves. They know that they're going to need them, and unfortunately not quite going to be able to make it here. The Empoleon's going to go down to the Seed Bomb, and that is a good first game. Very well played. Not gonna lie, that Empoleon scared the pants off me. I'm actually wearing shorts now because of it. We have a Gastrodon in the lead. And this one is another flashback lead here. We're having another matchup with a Bug Bite FeRetris, going for the exact same play as last time, looking to fire off this Water Pulse as the opponent gets to that Rock Tomb. The opponent does not CMP this time, however, going for some extra energy, maybe looking to lock in an Earthquake against the Gastrodon. That would be very unfortunate, but could be a good time for a farm on this Rufflet, which comes in now after the Gastrodon takes its bow, goes back to its Pokeball, going for a Fly here before the opponent can get to the Rock Tomb. Rufflet looking to do some damage here. Fly is a very efficient flying type move. And there's a Stun Fisk. However, we're up a shield and we have a Dartrix. The opponent has an Araquanid, and now we have Brave Bird just for you. Going for an overfarm. I like that. If you have a move that debuffs your defense and you're planning on going for more than one potentially, you definitely... Did he just dab? Did the Dartrix... Hold on. Did this Dartrix just dab? Did it? Show it to me. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Going for an overfarm to be able to land a Seed Bomb against the Galarian, or against the Unova and Stun Fisk. Oh, I swear to God, dude, give it to me, dude. Goes for the dab. It's close enough. Dartrix the Dabmon. Oh, that was beautiful, dude. Going for this Rock Tomb here at this point, just looking to apply as much damage. And I mean, I guess if you're gonna go for one, they're both resisted. Might as well just go for the Rock Tomb, I guess, lower the attack. But unfortunately, the opponent, however, is going to be able to get to a bit of a farm here, because either that was not enough for the XL Rufflet, or they just... Oh, they have two moves? No, the Seed Bomb probably wasn't enough from there anyway, so they needed another one, and that Discharge is going to get the knockout. The opponent played that very well. Good game. On to the next. Locking in with a really nice lead here. Dedenne is wondering what on earth we're doing in its swamp, and in comes a Furret to be able to be the safe switch for the opponent here in this matchup. However, they have a choice to make here, I think. Right? Now they have to go for Swift. They like Going in with a flyer basically takes away the option for it to be able to go for Trailblazers, especially when it's so heavily resisted like this. The opponent, however, does have 2, and Dartrix does not win that charge attack priority tie, and now the opponent's going to be able to fire off both those moves and grab an early shield. Dartrix going to be looking to go for the seed bomb here, trying to pressure a shield of its own or get that thing within farm down range, and it does, but unfortunately, the opponent's Dedenne gets to swap in. The switch clock is just barely not aligned in the way that we would hoped it would be. The opponent's going to be able to get a parabolic charge, and that's a CMP tie. That's going to unfortunately eat away at a little bit of our switch timer here. The opponent was going to be able to get to that parabolic charge either way, but I think that Ebebear was just hoping that they would farm down instead of going straight for the move. However, now Gastrodon gets to come in for just a little bit to be able to farm down this Dedenne, but hoping to go for a body slam to cut it from the play rough, but unfortunately the opponent is able to survive thanks to that debuff and get to the play rough anyway, doing huge damage to the Gastrodon. Oh no, that's an Abomasnow. No, that is a problem. Wait, has leafage now? Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. Oh, hold on a minute now. Okay, so we shield now, hoping to apply a debuff with the Rock Tomb, and then perhaps maybe that allows Rufflet to somehow survive and be able to peck down? Definitely. That's exactly what... No, we have to be able to peck down between something here. The opponent does decide to clear this debuff, however, and now we're looking for a catch on the Dartrix. Hold on a minute! We're locked in. Dartrix is going to take that Weather Ball, and the opponent's going to have to be able to get to another one, but does the Rock Tomb get reached? Yes, it does. Reapplying the Rock Tomb debuff permanently. Does this now prevent the Weather Ball from being enough? Let's go, dude. Does that drop do it? That's all I need to know. Weather Ball going through. Does a lot of damage, but the leafage is heavily resisted here into this flying typing, and the opponent's Abomasnow goes down, and oh my goodness, what a game. Well played. Oh my goodness. Getting into the next battle here, we're going to have Gastrodon on the lead here versus Credilli. If this is Acid Credilli, this is manageable. But you have to be able to catch potentially that Grass Knot, and so the opponent gonna know they're gonna overfarm and lock in, and now we're going for a Rock Tomb. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Now we're going for a Rock Tomb, ladies and gentlemen. Rock Tomb's gonna get a shield off the Dartrix here. Dartrix gonna have to stay in and take 2. Oh no, dude. Oh, that's painful. Rock Tomb's going to do so much damage and double debuffing the attack. At that point, you might as well just go for the Brave Bird. Looking to go for a Seed Bomb for some chip damage here. See if we can't make it to the Brave Bird. Unable to get there. And unfortunately, Seed Bomb number 2 is all we can leave with. Oh. That's why, that's how my catch attempts usually go, to be honest with you guys. Going to be coming in with a Rufflet here, expecting to put both shields down. This Credilli is just an absolute menace. By the way, if you were wondering what this team does against Credilli, this is it. Opponent, however, going to come in with a Poliwrath. Wait a minute, trainer, huh? Rufflet going for the Rock Tomb and gets a shield, and now everything could turn around here. Rufflet has energy, a little bit of it in the back. Gastrodon's going to come in, look to apply some damage, maybe a farm down. Opponent going to be able to get to a move. This is just a power-up punch, though. That was way too quick. No, it's an icy wind. Apparently not. I can't count. That's okay. Going for the body slam here after a debuff, though. That's a little bit risky, but that Credilli can never farm down here, and they're going to come in with a Diggersby. Oh no, this is a tough one. Got to go for the Water Pulse here. The opponent just able to make it to the Scorching Sands just now. Let's see if the opponent gonna, they don't really need to. It's debuff. They just live this anyway. Dartrix is gonna, Dartrix is down. Rufflet's gonna have to be putting the team on its back here. Down a shield. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. The pacing on this Diggersby to Fire Punch is just too much, and Fire Punch does 2-shot here, and that's just, yeah, that's a good game, man. I don't think there's any way out. Can't even get to 2 flies. The opponent's going to have enough energy for 2 Fire Punches before we can even get to these flies as they go straight for it here. No waiting. The opponent not messing around, going for this Fire Punch, knocking out the Rufflet, and unfortunately, we're going to take a loss. Apparently, ground types are better into the Flyers than we thought. However, we're getting redemption in the next game. That is a Unnovan Stunfisk, and the opponent immediately swatches. They swap into their own Gastrodon. My wife is laughing at me in the background. She thinks, what an idiot. He can't even get a move. He can't even speak, dude. Just the way it sounds, man.
Swishy, swishy.
Swishy, swishy with the hand. Get that out of my head. No. Swishy, swishy with the hand. This is a stupid inside joke with my wife and I having a conversation last night. God bless her. I love that woman so much. Going in for this next situation here, we've got the Gastrodon trying its best to stay. Oh no, that's a cast form. In comes the Gastrodon. Trainer, that's not how we wanted that to happen. They just 2-shielded the Gastrodon. They really did. Oh no. Oh, the opponent's in shambles at this point. Two shielding the Gastrodon against the Dartrix, so they had no hope. The opponent's going to come in with their own Gastrodon. It did have energy. And the shield from this Gastrodon. You're going to shield up a Body Slam. That's not what you want to do, but this next one could only just be a Body Slam if the opponent had enough energy for a Water Pulse and a little bit more. Body Slam chipping away at the Gastrodon here. Opponent, however, has another move. They have a lot of energy, a lot more than even I thought. And now we're going to have to go ahead and shield this next Body Slam. Opponent does come back in with the Unovan Stunfisk, and we are now in absolute shambles because this does now have a very good amount of play into our backline. But in comes the Dartrix. Never mind, I lied. We have so much energy on this Dartrix. And this, honestly, this is why. Look, all right, I say it enough on this channel. This is a really good example, so I want to pause the shoutcast real quick and just kind of explain why you should not be safe swapping something like Gastrodon in a meta where a grass or flyer exists, because it's just very inflexible. And if it gets hard count, even if Rufflet came in, all right, even if Rufflet came in, it can get so much energy because it doesn't care about the mud slaps at all that it's just, you're putting yourself in a severe disadvantage by safe swapping something with like Gastrodon that gets very hard countered by at least one or two types, because if they're in the meta, they're going to be there. Gastrodon's common enough, and so this trainer ended up giving up both shields, and they gave Dartrix a ton of energy, and they also sold their entire soul for switch advantage here, and they weren't even able to keep it because that was just, Gastrodon can't win that matchup. In my opinion, the last point I'll make is if you're in that situation, you do safe swap a Gastrodon, and there's a tactical reason for it. You're trying to bait out the grass type, or you're trying to bait out a flyer, right? And you have a Water Pulse, you think, okay, I can at least hit a flyer. At least what you want to do is let it go. Don't put your shields in that. If you've been hard countered like that, that is not a good place to put your shields. Instead, you'd rather just save them. For example, had they saved them for any of the other two Pokemon that they had on their team, they would have been able to come out of that. We're picking up a 3-2, but I was told the second set is a 5-0, and so let's get into the 5-0. And you start the 5-0 with a Shadow Abomasnow in the lead. That is not good, but the opponent's going to stay in with the Abomasnow, looking to try and get a bunch of energy, and then they're gone. Ow. How is this a win? How is this a win? Oh man, I'm locked in now. I need to see what happens. The opponent's going to be going for a charge move. This Empoleon's not a shadow. It's not going to be able to get the knockout. Going for another fly. Rock Tomb, what are we going for? We're going for the fly here. And Gastrodon does have the ability to get the farm down. Now this is Rufflet. Yes, it's a flyer and it gets walled by Steels, however, and also gets walled by Unovan Stunfisk. So maybe not the ideal comment to be making a safe swap sort of comment on. Rufflet really has the same problems, to be honest, as Gastrodon does. However, Rufflet has the ability to go with Rock Tomb and go for some debuffs, and so it gives it a nice edge in some matchups. Oh, dude, Turtonator? Turtonator. Really? Really? Going for the brutal swing. We're firing off a Brave Bird. Does the opponent respect this nuke? Oh, please, my button is ready. Trainer, don't shield this. Ah! Yes! Yes! And in comes Abomasnow, and we can shield this because they're on Leafage. We could just use two shields and Peck down. That's how it's a win. Ebabear finding the win con after being triple hard countered. Oh my goodness, that's a good game. Well played. Although, to be fair, if the opponent shields that Brave Bird, that might have been a very different game. But there's a Turtonator. This is where we want to see it in this game. And they safe switch into an Acid Credillion. In comes the Dartrix. This is not really a swap into a Credilli, but let's let him cook. Rock Tomb is going to be doing some meaningful damage in this matchup, but we're going to shield it up. Rock Tomb gets the drop on the attack stat, and now Dartrix looking to go for a Seed Bomb to try and get a shield. The opponent respecting that Brave Bird. Dartrix going for a final Seed Bomb before letting itself go. That's exactly what this is. Otherwise, we would have committed for that Brave Bird. We're going to go ahead and no shield this at this point. Rock Tomb can take us out. We've done some damage. No, we're going for a shield, Trainer! Okay! We're going for the shield. 3 Rock Tomb debuffs in, and we're going for a shield. This is it. No, it's 2 debuffs. Never mind. This is the third one, though. And Dartrix, unfortunately, is not going to be able to make anything of those shields. That is going to go down, and Gastrodon's coming in. Maybe all they wanted was to get this thing down into a range where it could either get mud slapped down by the Gastrodon or the opponent being completely out of energy. They let the Water Pulse through, and now Rufflet going to have to handle this game in a 2v1 capacity. And Rock Tomb is just the way to do it. If the opponent's not running any nukes and they just have the Dragon Claw, this is a good spot for the Rufflet to be in because the opponent does decide to shield that, and it works out in their favor. However, the opponent's Jellicent can only hit the Rufflet with Surfs. Shadow Ball is not going to be a worthy move here. Going for 4 and looking to get the knockout with the Rock Tomb or get Dartrix the chance to get a nice Peck farm down. Never mind, Dartrix is gone. Opponent's going to have the Jellicent. In comes Gastrodon. However, Gastrodon's energy is all completely walled here, looking to get the Rufflet close enough to a move potentially to make it. At least that was what I thought that was. The opponent's going to be able to go for the Shadow Ball, and they're going to go immediately for another move here. The opponent does have energy for a Surf and or another Shadow Ball. They're going to let this Water Pulse through as they have to, but the opponent's Jellicent on the receiving end of a bad CMP tide. The Surf going to knock out the... Oh, come on. You can get there. Oh, my God, dude. Barely holds on, gets there with my opponent having to throw their energy. They can't get to the move, and the fly knocks out. Let's go, Rufflet! Next game, Gastrodon. It's a Sceptile on the Gastrodon. In comes Dartrix is our safe switch, and there's a Ninetales, bro! Come on! Give Epibear a break, man! Gonna let this move go, this Weather Ball. All that Dartrix wants to do in this matchup is get a shield with this with this Brave Bird. What's up, baby?
Can
you're supposed to take a shower soon? If you want to, otherwise you're supposed to take a shower soon. You want to wait for your shower? All right, gonna get back into the action here. We have the Kanto Ninetales. This thing's gonna get a move caught on the Gastrodon. Gastrodon is looking to come in and try and make a difference here. That poor Dartrix got down. Oh, no. Sceptile, dude. Rufflet surely can sweep this game. The opponent goes for the Leaf Blade. Oh, God! Boom! He had a family, man! Rufflet going to be putting up a shield here. Leaf Blade. That could have been a Dragon Claw, but we're not going to take that risk. Opponent trying to make it to another move here, but in comes the Ninetales. Going to get Rock Tombed. The opponent has had a severe energy disadvantage here, and now Rufflet might be the key. Never mind, that's an Arcanine Trainer. What the spice is this? We're going for the fly. We have to. The opponent shields up. Is this thing glassy enough that a Rock Tomb would knock out? Oh, wait a minute. If this thing... I know Arcanine is super glassy, and Rock does not resist Rock, and that's a win! Holy May! What the heck is going on here? What's going on here? Gastrodon into a Typhlosion. Finally, a good lead. Epibear's got to be feeling good about this one. Opponent swaps immediately into their Shadow Scizor, and we don't have a direct response right away because the opponent would be able to do quite a bit of damage with the bullet punches, but Scizor taking this shield opportunity to shield the Brave. No. See, now I'm all frazzled. Now Scizor is going to be able to take the opportunity to shield up a move here, but it's going to have a lot of energy to be able to throw into this Rufflet, which Rufflet now has to shield if it wants to farm down. Rufflet's going to be maybe going to look to get this farm down, absolutely. And the opponent now coming back in with a Typhlosion, but it's going to have to take a Rock Tomb, and maybe this trainer doesn't know it has Rock Tomb, because I know I didn't. Opponent letting that go, and Typhlosion! Boom! Oh no, Typhlosion doesn't respect the Rock Tomb and fly. Oh, the Dartrix was going to have its way with that Chestnut. Good game. Okay, wow. Getting into the next battle here. Gastrodon looking at this Kingdra with an absolute vengeance, looking to try and win this matchup, but the opponent's Kingdra gets to those Swifts very quickly, outspeeds the bulky Gastrodon, but the opponent does not want to throw this small energy move. They want to go and at least threaten with that Outrage, and so opponent's going to go for a no-shield. Dartrix can come in here, and the opponent is going to have to full send the Outrage. Swift does not do a lot in this matchup. They do full send it, and it's correctly shielded. The opponent now comes in with a Typhlosion, and oh no! That's unfortunate, man. Brave Bird, however, is going to get a shield, and now the opponent is going to get farmed. No, they get to the Seed Bomb! Just get a second shield if the opponent's not respecting this damage. Maybe they don't think there's a Seed Bomb. The opponent going to go for the 2 shields. They need it. Gastrodon comes in, resisting all this energy is an easy way to absorb the Electric, rather, or the Blast Burn. We'd end up shielding anyway. Opponent going to get farmed down just barely. Gastrodon has energy. Rufflet's in the back. No shields in play on either side. What could happen? It could be anything. Kingdra comes back in and immediately gets met with a body slam. This Gastrodon letting it know that it's the water type to beat here in this meta. And the opponent comes in with a Charizard, but Charizard can get to the Blast Burn, but the Rock Tomb breached. No, the opponent doesn't have the Blast Burn. Does the opponent have the Blast Burn? They do. They go for the Blast Burn. That rocks out the Rocky Rufflet. Now we have to go for it. Now we're going for the body slam for Water Pulse. Oh, I had to go for the Water Pulse, man. The opponent gonna get knocked out. No, they don't have the energy for the Blast Burn. Oh, it's a narrow victory. That almost wasn't enough. Oh my God, what a roller coaster. That was a 5-0, dude. Oh my goodness. I need to go and relax now. That was a ride. I hope you all enjoyed it with me. Let me know in the comments if you've been playing Summer Cup or Ultra League this week and what you'll be playing in the coming week with Master League. And I don't even remember. No, it's Mega Master League. Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. I hope they do this right. If you're looking forward to Mega Master League, let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, thank you very much for watching. Bye.